Hello students, hope you all are fine and safe. In our last class, we were discussing about the chapter number 8, that is the world of plants, where we have discussed how different plants they multiply, how they reproduce. So we know some plants they reproduce through seeds, some through spores and some through vegetative parts, that means through roots, stem, leaves and all, right? Now we have discussed about the reproduction through seed, where we have discussed about the process of germination. That means when the seed sprouts, changes into a sprout or grows into a seedling. So the process is called germination. Now have you ever wondered how these seeds they get dispersed? So that is called dispersal of seeds. That means the scattering away of seeds from the parent plant is called dispersal of seeds, right? Now there are many agents that helps to disperse these seeds from the parent plant, so that if all the conditions are favorable, the seeds can grow into a new plant, right? Now the first agent is wind. So the seeds of the plants like cotton and dandelion, they are very light in weight and fluffy. So they can easily blown away with the help of wind, and they get scattered with the help of wind in different directions, and they can grow into a new plant, right? Same way the the seeds of coconut and lotus can be easily dispersed by water. So here water acts like the agent that helps the seeds of the plants like coconut and lotus to get dispersed with the help of water currents. That means the flow of water. These seeds they float from one place to another place, and when they get the all the favorable conditions, they can grow into a new plant, right? Then some seeds they have thorns in them, that means they have hooks in them, or we can say spines in them, right? So here the animals they act like the agents. Now what happens is these seeds they have hooks in them, and when animals they eat these plants, these seeds they get attached to the fur of these animals, right? And you know animals never stay in one place, they keep on moving from one place to another place. So what happens is when these animals they move from place to place, these seeds they with the help of their body get scattered in different places, and once they get all the required conditions, they can grow into healthy plant, right? So that is how the animals they get they helps the seeds to get dispersed. Do you know even we help the seeds to get dispersed? Yes. So when the different animals and all of us like human beings and even the birds, right, when they eat the fruit, we know we cannot digest the seeds of some seeds of these fruits like mango. And when we eat the fruits like mango and jackfruit and all different fruits, we throw the seeds of these fruits, right? So whenever the animals and even human beings and even birds, nobody can digest the seeds, because the seeds they have very hard outer covering, that is called seed coat. So we cannot digest that seed, right? And that is the reason we throw away the seeds, right? And the animals they remove the seeds through their excreta, even the birds they remove the seeds through their excreta. So because of these reasons, these seeds they can be spread in different directions, and once they get the favorable conditions, these seeds can grow into new plants, right? So these are the different ways how the seeds they get dispersed. So dispersal of seeds means the scattering away of seeds from the parent plant. far away from the parent plant. It should be not very near to the parent plant, otherwise it is very difficult to adjust with the little water, then no air will be there. So, they get far away, they spread in all the directions through the different agents. These agents are wind, water, animals, human beings and even birds, right beta. So, that is all about the seed dispersal. Now, the seeds of some plants like peas and mustards, they are stored in the pots. You know what is a pot? Pot means they are covered, right? Under the leafy like structure, they are covered and they are stored into the pots. Now, when they get fully ripe, the pods they burst and these seeds are spread in all the directions, right? So, this is how the different plants they reproduce through seeds, right. Now, other than seeds, there are some other ways also. So, that is spores. Spores means they are some plants, non-flowering plants, especially the plants like fern, then we have mosses and we have this what is it, mushrooms. They do not have flowers. So, how do they reproduce? They reproduce through the tiny pores that are present on the leaves that are called pores, right. So, sorry, spores. So, these plants they reproduce through these spores. These spores they are very small, very tiny and sometimes we cannot see with our naked eyes, right. So, these spores they again change into new plant. So, through every spore we can get a new plant. So, some plants they reproduce through spores. Then some plants they reproduce through vegetative propagation. Now, vegetative way of reproduction means what? Certain plants they grow through the roots, some plants they grow through the stem, some through leaves. So, when the different parts of the plant are used to get new plants, that is called vegetative reproduction, right, or we can say vegetative propagation, right. So, if we see the roots of the plants like carrot, radish, beetroot, turnip, these plants can grow into new plants with the help of their roots. Like if you put the root of the that carrot, that means carrot itself it is a root, and if you put the carrot again in the soil, you can see the new plants growing from that carrot, right. So, these plants they grow from the root of the plants. Same way, if you see the bryophyllum, that is one big leaf and it contains many small leaves in that, and every leaf when falls down grows into a new plant. So, this is the reproduction through leaves, and bryophyllum it is also called mother of thousands. That means it is believed that each leaf can give birth to 1,000 plants, right. So, that is also called mother of thousands, and through the leaves the new plants they grow. That is about the vegetative propagation or reproduction through leaves. Now, if we see some plants like sugarcane and rose, they can be grown while cutting their stems and putting them in the soil, right. So, this process is called budding. So, some plants they can grow through the budding process, that means they cut the stem of these plants in a particular way and then they plant it in the soil, and especially the roses, we can cut the rose and the stem of the rose and put in the soil, and we can see again new leaves will start growing and it will change into a new plant. So, this is the reproduction through the stem, right. Then the underground plants like we have potato, right, and ginger, they have buds on the potato. We many times you see, if you leave the potato for some more days, you can see the small white color structures coming out from the potato. So, these are called buds, and the potatoes they have eyes. So, if we put these potatoes and underground stems like ginger and all again in the soil, So new plants will start growing from the eyes of these potatoes, or we can say from the buds of these potatoes, right. So the potatoes and ginger, they are also the stem of the plant, and through the stem only we can get the new plants. And the stems like onion and garlic, they reproduce through that in that they have a very special part that is called bulbs. Okay, so you can see the, if you have seen the plant of the onion, on the top of the plant you can see the small bulb like structures. Okay, so that is actually not bulb, but the structure looks like the shape of the bulb, so we have named it as a bulb. So the garlic and onion, they have bulbs on the plants, and these bulbs can be used to grow new plants of the onions. It means inside that there will be some seeds, and these seeds can grow into new plants. So but all these are the stem of the different parts, that like rose is a stem through which new plants grows, again potato is an underground stem through which new plants grows, and even onion and garlic, they are also the even onion, that is the stem of the plant through which again we can get the new plant, right, but through the bulbs. So these are the different ways how the different plants they reproduce. They reproduce through seeds, they reproduce through spores, and they reproduce through their vegetative parts. In vegetative parts, they reproduce through roots, they reproduce through leaves, and they reproduce through using their stem in different ways. That means for different plants, we have different ways to get new plants through their stem. So students, that is all about the reproduction of the plants. That means how the new plants can grow, how the new plants can germinate. So that is all about the plants. We will discuss some more things about these plants in our next video. Till then, bye. Have a nice day. Read the chapter thoroughly, properly. Bye.